This is Otaku Station, broadcasting our analysis of the 11th episode of the classic 1979 anime series of Anne of Green Gables. Gotta call out the connection to previous episodes. She's singing Nellie in the Dell, which she learned from Diana. Marilla hasn't moved.
No. Still glued to the same spot.
We should call out how this is indicating the connection between Anne and Matthew, that they're just on the same wavelength.
In not a dissimilar fashion from her and Diana.
True.
Matthew, and what Marilla complains about early on, that like Matthew she got to him kind of thing. And it's like, Matthew actually kind of can envision a little of the imagination that Anne has. And it's like, oh. Again, the nurturing figure that Matthew is.
Yep. Marilla has put her work aside to come out and look at Anne and fret about how much time Anne is wasting. You know, as opposed to continuing on with her work and getting her work done.
I will give it that she has not taken arms to hips.
True.
You're right. That's like fretting. That's like a worried kind of hand grasp. And she didn't immediately leave the house like she would have earlier. I mean, Anne! She's having a dialogue with herself, a monologue, and not yelling for Anne to come back to the house. And she's just watching Matthew and Anne. It's like, wow, Marilla, how controlled of you.
Marilla controlled? No.
I don't know. No. It's just amazing. How could she rein in her emotions like that?
To be clear what's happening here, Anne is chattering as always, completely oblivious to the fact that she is half an hour late. You know, she should have been, oh, I'm sorry, for coming home late. That's the correct response.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Feels like there's something building up to bad happening.
Also the fact that ice cream is a luxury.
Yeah.
So she's chattering on about these frivolous things. Not that, Marilla's against ice cream, but just like, there are more important things right now, Anne. Some maturity in some areas, but not entirely.
I thought we were making more progress than this, but I just have this sense of like pins and needles, like I should duck. Like,
Now, Marilla has never shown herself to have an explosive temper.
Yes.
Right? So she doesn't just, let it build so that it can explode. But to your point, like they're very much dragging this out because Marilla is very much dragging this out.
Well, her facial expression is Anne's, prattling and drinking water and stuff and talking about the ice cream. You can see Marilla kind of go like, like I'm gonna say a few things in just a minute. Like, oh boy.
Yep. But Marilla is letting Anne have her piece.
Yeah.
She's not interrupting her and saying, you need to do this or say this. She's letting it play out, which you could argue is positive, where she's giving Anne space.
Let Anne tire herself out, and then she'll have something to say.
I'll never get over that. What time do you go? 2:00. Anyway, can I go? This, in my opinion, is good parenting. She's saying, why? Right? You didn't do the thing. Why didn't you do the thing? Not yelling, not screaming, not punishing. It gives the child space to explain their behavior. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe something came up.
And it also gives the child the
exactly.
I messed up.
Yeah. And I'd like to know why you didn't obey me. Right? Not just I want to know what happened, but like you transgressed. Why?
And you need to give me an explanation. Yeah. Like it's no longer about just like, oh, okay, you're a kid, whatever. Kids do that. Yeah.
Why it's not why are you late? It is why didn't you obey me? Tells me that it has to be a very serious explanation.
Yeah.
Not I was looking at the Snow Queen and just got lost in time. It's like, you better have a really good reason.
Yeah.
Because we have gotten to the point now here by this episode where Anne has been living here long enough.
Yeah.
She knows what the rules are. So it's no longer Anne can throw a temper tantrum and say, I'm a ginger, everybody hates me.
Yeah.
Right. So now it has to be like, to y'all's point, you better have a good reason. If you have a good reason, fine, but I don't think you do.
Yeah.
That's the tone.
Yep.
I don't see a broken leg. You're not on fire.
And there we go.
No, there it is.
Distracted by the nature.
Yeah, that's the wrong answer.
And to that point, see what Anne is appealing to here. She's appealing to Marilla's imagination.
Yeah, this is Marilla.
And here we go. So Marilla is laying down the law, but also saying, I'm not punishing you about the picnic for this. Right?
Yeah.
That's not, that has no relation to this. But, like, here's what you need to do. And again, I appreciate that she's being specific. Here are the specific things I'm asking you to do, because that's what Anne needs to hear. Over and over again. Yeah. Do this. Do this.
Do you think her repeating about, not to stop and talk with a sympathetic listener, it felt kind of a little like that's... Yeah.
Little jab.
Like the look on her face about Matthew's such a sympathetic listener, and she's kind of like, excuse me?
Yeah.
And then pointing that out again is like, well,
yep.
Are you saying I'm not?
And to that point,
you have a lovely apron.
Marilla and Rachel are good friends. By all accounts, the two of them, they get along well. They talk to each other well. So there is no reason for Rachel to think that she is a bad listener. She may well be, right? And there's plenty of indications that she's kind of not the most attentive person to other people's needs. But like, to your point, I think that got under her skin a little bit. And again, Marilla is explaining to her that going to the picnic is an unrelated matter. So it's explaining to Anne kind of what connects to what in this household. Because there are plenty of households where that would be a punishment.
Yeah.
There we are. Yeah. I can do that for you. It's fine. Note the music. It's very happy, very cheerful music. Despite Marilla's protestations, I think there's some... I don't think she minds that much.
No. The look on her face almost was like literally Anne touching her heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Kind of like the unexpected jolt of, oh, what? Huh? Mm-hmm. Wow, affection?
Yeah. She's never had anyone do this to her.
Yeah. She's a spinster for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
That we know of. I think they show many episodes ago a younger Marilla?
Yeah.
I think they did, but they never, it's never any discussion of when she went to the box social and dated that guy. It's like, Yeah.
So, we know Anne has an obsession with puffed sleeves and nice clothing. You notice her bringing it up here, but she quickly changes the subject. And I don't think she is needling Marilla about it. I think it's just on her mind, and she just can't stop thinking about it.
Right.
But it's funny seeing her keep bringing it up.
Yeah, with her thing about puff shoulders or puff cuffs or whatever it was before. Like, really?
Fashion. It's a thing.
Even in this day and age.
Oh, yeah. So.
Okay. I literally wanted to go through the screen. Shh.
Yeah, so a little bit of regression here, if you will. Well, maybe not. I mean, we were talking before about how last episode is more about her relating to other children her age. Still the flights of fancy, still the sort of putting all of her eggs in this basket of the picnic emotionally.
Notice how they just keep focusing on her, though. I'm just waiting for the camera to snap to Marilla and have Marilla being like, knitting needles in hand.
for a moment there, I thought literally they were going to have like 5 seconds of silence, and then she's just going to start talking.
Yeah. But we did just have the obey me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Anne's still fresh off of that lesson.
Mm-hmm. So. And Anne did say, like, very early on, I can stop talking if I make myself. Right? So we know, at least from her lips, she is capable of it.
Yeah.
It's just not something she automatically does. So, and to your point, Steve, I think what they're pointing out here is that Anne is able to be quiet. She just can't help herself a lot.
Yeah. Well, and she doesn't like needlework.
Yeah.
But she does what she's told by Marilla.
Yeah.
So the post, why were you a half an hour late? And the picnic's a separate thing. Why didn't you obey me? She is now doing her needlework, and she goes quiet.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to like
explode.
If he had said they canceled you, she would just crumpled.
She would have run out of the church crying.
Yeah. Oh, everything in my life is worthless. Easy, Anne.
Yeah. But note her reaction versus the other children.
Yeah.
She doesn't burst out. She just sits there and, vibrates with excitement.
Which, again, she's sitting right next to Marilla.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like she knows, like, again, she understands the obey part, so she's dialing it back here.
Yep.
Is the frame shaky? Is that what I'm seeing? As they're walking?
Oh yeah, you're right.
It is.
Absolutely is. Huh.
What in the heck is that?
So that is a like a camera shake. Let's see here. Oh yeah, like every time they end a step, the background goes out of register. Interesting. Yeah, there must have been something wrong with the registration and versus they must have like just jostled the background as they were doing it or something. Interesting.
That's funky.
Yeah. So how come they didn't take the wagon in? I wonder.
Good question. I'm assuming the church is close enough. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know when Anne was going by herself, they were going to take her in the wagon.
True.
And she missed out, and she had to run down the lane like a ways to get there. So it is within reasonable walking distance.
Yeah, I guess.
And considering the name of this episode, I'm guessing that's the brooch that's on Marilla's stole or whatever it is, cape.
I'm sorry. With how invested you were in that picnic, you still didn't really... You weren't that invested, apparently. That wasn't real investment for Anne Shirley. Wow.
Never, ever give this girl amphetamines. Never.
Well, and, I mean, to bring this down a little bit, she's never been to a picnic. She's never had ice cream.
Yeah.
So this is just the height of joys. She's been so deprived her whole life. So yeah.
Well, and I would be willing to bet that we don't know what they are, but they probably were promises made to her about things like, "Hey, watch all the kids, and something will happen, something good," and it never did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your parents died. Oh, you're gonna go live with blah blah blah. Everything's gonna be fine. Not. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Truth.
Yeah. To some folks reading the novel, you think that's kind of harsh. She's right. I mean,
Is this another cell error that's right there, that squiggle?
A little rip. Hard to say. It could be they're trying to do a little bit of like a light cloud, up there, but it does look like it's a mistake. It's calling out.
Yep.
They are changing the color of the brooch as she is moving around.
Well, yeah.
Each little individual, just to give you that little glittering indication of the brooch, which is clever. Let's point out what the underlying layer is here. we were just talking about looking forward to things. And Anne saying, well, it's great to look forward to things because then you have, that's half the pleasure of them. But then now we hear her say she was looking forward to what a diamond looked like, but when it didn't match her imagination, she cried. So that's the other side of imagining things, is if it doesn't match what you expect, disappointment. Right. Why did we see this? Why did Takahata show us Anne going all the way up the steps and opening the door and putting the box in?
Because she's obeying Marilla.
Yep.
Right.
Did the task exactly as asked.
Oh, the crazy dream.
Yeah, the music box music is an interesting choice here because there's a certain playfulness about it, which I think is what they're implying is the fear here, that Anne's gonna play with it and break it or do something to it, right? But there's also maybe that circus element of Anne feeling playful. I don't know.
Sounds terrifying to me. Like something bad's gonna happen. Like, oh.
Carnival of Soul.
Yeah, Carnival of Souls. Here we go.
Evil clowns of Green Gables.
Oh!
She reaches for the amethyst. The evil clown reaches up, grabs her hand.
We all float down here.
Oh no.
Oh, it's cannot bode well.
Note the hesitation.
Yeah, for good reason.
She thinks about it for a second, and then she reaches out. This is pregnant with imagery. We know Anne's history with seeing herself in mirrors and what that implies. And we see her expression here. She's not very happy.
No.
You wonder if she feels she's not worthy of it. But there's also, self-reflection, literally. I think she's thinking through a little bit more what she's doing now and the implications of that, but certainly her mind's off.
Right.
Elsewhere. Also, I appreciate Takahata does not have the narrator tell us what's going on.
Yep.
We're left to piece it together. What has Anne done? Or not done? The expression, what amethyst brooch?
What are you talking about? I know nothing of this.
Will Anne lie?
And in her defense, when somebody comes to you and says, what's up with my amethyst brooch? A woman of what are you talking about? It's your amethyst brooch, It's fair. Now, without getting into spoilers, what's her reaction here?
She just immediately replies that this is what I did.
Yeah.
Right. I hadn't put it on.
Yep.
Had it on a minute.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, if it was Anne, the Anne we all know and love, she would have been like, the sprites came in and took it away. No, but it would have been like an elaborate tale,
right?
Or it would have been an elaborate explanation of some sort. But whatever it was, it would have been dramatic and whatever. But she's just like, oh no, this is what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and she was entirely truthful, which is no exculpatory anything. She just said exactly what happened.
So if she's lying, this is prepared.
Right.
This is a very careful lie. We know enough about Anne and how distracted she is, and she could very well have not put it back. Right. And thought she did, but didn't. But her reaction here is definitely on the innocent side, where she's just being very straightforward and truthful, apparently, and just, immediately responding. No, to Steve's point, no flights of fancy.
Right.
Now, again, Marilla is saying, okay, I'll go back and check it again and be more thorough, but this will tell me one way or the other if you did actually put it back.
Check your pockets, Anne.
And I love how Takahata leaves us on Anne and this expression. Is this guilt? Or is this her not realizing the import of the situation? Hard to say. They also do an incredible job here matching the color of the foreground elements to the background elements. When you open and close the drawers, often those things look very different. What they've actually done here is swapped out between the background Now it's the foreground element. But it's just fast enough that you don't notice.
I like the fact that Marilla is giving it an honest chance.
Good point.
She's just like, okay, I'll double check. Mm-hmm. And she really is. It's not just a walk up the stairs and go, I wonder if she's going to come up and confess. She's literally just going to be like, okay, well, no, maybe I did put it down somewhere wrong. Yeah. Or maybe fell off or something.
Yeah. Maybe it fell to the floor or something.
Yeah, she didn't stick in the pincushion right, and it rolled off.
Yeah,
I feel like she wants it to be that way, right?
Yeah,
Marilla wants it to be just, it's on the floor. Oh, okay, didn't do this. It's because she doesn't. Here's the thing: as much as we make fun of Marilla and how strict she is, it's never. I think we all agree it's never from a sadistic, mean place.
Yeah,
100%.
Right? Yeah.
She's strict with herself.
Right.
And everyone else in the world.
Yeah.
But she's even, checking up high, where Anne would have to reach way up to get up there.
Yeah.
Which is maybe she did that. We'll check.
Well, so too, these people have taken in a stranger.
Yeah, true.
So we're in a better place than we were when we started with this, but this is a real test of how trustworthy can you be with somebody who you really don't know.
There are certainly plenty of stories of children who've taken on as servants, and 6 months later, the silverware disappeared.
Yeah,
right. It wasn't the first day, so yeah, absolutely, that is concern.
Yeah,
and I think this is the first real test of trust.
Yeah,
like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said this is not matching up with the reality. We're checking that. Yeah, we're verifying. Yeah. To your point, she kind of settles in. Like, she didn't want this to be true, but now she sees there's no brooch here.
Yeah.
Now, to John's point, she's not accusing her of stealing it, or of doing. She's like, what did you do with it? Like, you took it down. You took it outside. You did something with it. Tell me the truth.
And to be fair, I would think Marilla would be really much angrier because looking at her pincushion, that is the only personal adornment of any noticeable merit that she ever has had on her this whole time.
Yeah, that is almost certainly her most valuable possession, and certainly, and to our earlier points, she is strict and severe with people. That is a luxury.
Oh yeah.
It's one luxury she allows herself. Now, I think in somewhere you mentioned that like it's from a relative or somebody, a hand me down, but still, like that's quite a thing for her to do. Now, I want to call out, as Anne is walking forward, Takahata has her pause and do this little expression. What do you think that's for?
It looks like she wants to tell Marilla something, and Jen just doesn't.
Yeah. So I think it could be one of two things. Either she's been lying, and she wants to tell her. She's realized something. She wants to tell her something, or she's realized if I just confess, it's over. I could lie now and confess.
Yeah, and take whatever punishment.
And then just move on with things. Which is, you could go either way with that. I think which is a very interesting way of doing it.
I took that a different way. I was thinking that this is the first real test of trust in a situation like this. Anne's had to trust Marilla and Matthew to be good people for her from the get-go. But this is the first time there's been like, you've done something wrong and you need to be punished. You should tell me what the truth is. And Anne is shocked at being called out like that. And it's as troubling to receive that kind of doubt on your character as it is difficult for Marilla to believe that her trust has been betrayed. So there's the two of them on this divide, and Anne's kind of like, "Oh shit."
You know what's fun?
Edit that out. I'm sorry. oh dang, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the thought that goes wrong.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what's funny is that I had a opposite reaction where to me that was a kind of look of like maybe here we go again.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Like with maybe with one of the like maybe the drunk guy, the drunk caregiver.
Oh yeah.
You know, who gets drunk and
where's that $20?
Yeah, and accuses her of something because he's drunk and he just misplayed her or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. And so she's just like, there's no point in this.
And that might not even be against Anne. She may have seen him do that to members of the family, right? You know, orphanage, you know, kids doing things to each other, you know, whatever, bullying. She could have seen this happen a lot. So yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
If she's innocent, this is absolutely realizing, oh, Marilla doesn't trust me.
Yeah. Especially that noise.
Yeah. But we saw what happened when somebody insulted Anne earlier. When Rachel insulted her about her hair. And what did Anne do? Fly off the handle.
Yeah.
Now she's just moving on. So some maturity there. Now it should be said, and I think at some point Marilla points this out, sentencing Anne to be alone in her room is not the worst punishment in the world. But still. To that point, we do get the kind of sad flute and Anne being contemplative. So clearly she's taking this seriously.
Yeah. Well, and certainly given the seriousness of what's happening, it's grounded Anne again, now that she's been grounded and sent to her room. Hey.
Look at Marilla's expression.
Yeah.
She's not happy. She's not happy. She's sad about it. Nobody wants
it kind of looks like sadness, a little bit of sad disappointment.
Yeah. Absolutely true. You know, as soon as she realizes that Anne is lying to her, all trust goes out the window. It becomes very hard to manage your household at all. But also, I think Takahata is doing this to tell the audience what's going inside Marilla's head.
Yeah.
If you subtract it from this, watching Marilla I'm sure she didn't steal it. I'm doing the beans. It's not her fault. You know, there's definitely kind of a nervous energy to her at this point where she's trying to convince herself, right, that she's right and that she's doing all this and all that kind of stuff. So we certainly, Marilla's a little unsettled and a little ungrounded compared to Anne. Marilla's, in a sense, taking this personally. It's not about the brooch. It's about the fact that Anne is lying to her and that hurts her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and here we have Anne in a gleeful moment hugging Marilla.
Yeah.
And literally touching her heart. And now it's the other side of the emotional spectrum where Anne has wounded her heart.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that's a lot of emotional experience for Marilla in like almost her entire lifetime.
She could use his Xanax right about now.
More emotions this past week in her last life. A whole 2.
Yes.
I kid, but still.
It wouldn't shock me if she went over to the tea cupboard and pulled out a bottle of Jack Daniels. I can't take this anymore.
And I think it's notable that she then goes back to her work. Like she's finding a certain solace in getting a task done.
Yeah.
That's interesting. She keeps searching.
She wants desperately to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She still gets dinner.
She hasn't lit her candle, and she looks sad. Is this regret for lying? Or is this something else? You know, I think he's really playing both sides of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think to Steve's point, like, you could easily interpret this as, oh no, things went wrong again.
Yeah.
You know? Like, not the brooch, nothing to do with the brooch, nothing to do with Marilla specifically, but just now I'm about to lose another home.
Yeah, they're going to kick me out of this.
Right. And it's just like, so there's a lot that you can look at just wrapped up into here that doesn't give you the answer whether she actually did anything and lied about it.
Exactly.
I keep expecting her to like reach into her apron pocket, pull it out, and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's right here," and have Marilla be like, "Okay, fine, don't do it again." Holy,
exactly.
Yeah.
Also, does Anne not have appetite? And what does that mean?
Right.
If you think you're about to lose your home, I imagine you're not very hungry.
True. I love Matthew's response here is, "Oh, darn, what are you going to do about it?"
Yeah.
I can't take any responsibility as a parental figure here. You're the one raising her, Marilla. Good luck.
I think he fully recognizes that he's about all the soft, squishy love, and she's about the go cut me a switch from outside kind of personality.
Okay, now he's twisting the knife.
Yeah.
He said, you're the one who said you're gonna be the one to raise her, so this is all in your court. Okay, what does this mean? Why is she happy now?
Well, she's lost in imagination, I'm going to guess. Yeah.
Okay. Now it's getting personal. Now the emotion's getting out.
Still making the table.
That's the table for
Idlewild.
Idlewild, yep.
I love the fact that Anne must have given him the unspoken conversation they must have had that there was birch.
Yeah.
Because he was just splitting like regular firewood logs. How would you know to make the table out of birch?
Yep. He's thoughtful, turns out.
Yeah. He's not allowed to punish people, that's why. Hey.
Well, hang on one second. So there was a stump in Idlewild.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Matthew's aware of Idlewild? Like that was him?
Oh, interesting.
That he
cut down a tree there once. Because the stump's there.
Yeah, true, could be.
Yeah, but that'd be way too much laying up unsplit birch.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like he would have had to have had that sitting in the barn for a while to be like, "Oh yeah, that's right, I was there," and cut that birch down.
Yeah, it's possible. I like the romanticism of that. This is the music they played when Anne had her first night at Green Gables. And she was crying herself to sleep in her bed. Because...
Fearful she was going back.
Yep.
Ooh. Foreshadowing. The cat that was sitting on Anne's lap stole the brooch.
Ah, there we go. Also remember, what is Anne losing out of all of this? Right? She doesn't have to do chores, no tasks, no nothing. She gets to stay in her room with her books, get fed all of her meals. Right? It's not the worst thing in the world. Marilla doesn't have anyone to do the dishes, do any of those chores, all that kind of stuff. So in a sense, Anne's got it good out of this.
Although she might lose the picnic.
She might lose the picnic. Obviously, she can't go see Diana. That's a real problem. But still, it's certainly concerning Anne. Point being, they're not, taking out a switch and whipping her every 10 minutes, right?
Right.
So, not to make light of the moment, but this is the Anne we all know from the first few episodes.
Yes.
And it's worth pointing out, for adults, not going to a picnic is a small thing. Takahata, rarely have we held on Anne crying like this.
Yeah.
So, Takahata is making it very clear to us, no, this just destroyed Anne's world. This is the biggest thing in her life right now. And we end with a lonely image of the night sky. No people, no nothing, just kind of desolation in a sense. Okay, that's episode 11 of Anne of Green Gables. What are your thoughts?
She put it in the bedpan.
Yeah. I like to think the cat stole it, but it's really interesting to see the development of the trust issue, and trying to trust that Green Gables was going to be her home is replaced with the trust issue about Marilla. It's not just trusting whether these people will keep her. It is now about, this person who I'm getting closer to and I'm spending more time with and I'm understanding, they don't trust me. And Marilla, on her part, here's a strange child. I'm going to have to do the right thing because, this other lady wants to use her as a workhorse, and I'm not all about that. I'm just going to, trust that she's going to grow up and be fine. And now she's having her first real test of like, maybe my trusting that she was going to learn things and do things right and be obedient, maybe I was wrong. And it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of heavy.
It's also the first time Marilla has to carry out something long term.
Yeah.
And stick to her principles, if you will, for something like this for a long time. With a child like Anne who is a lot to deal with.
So, my takeaway from this episode is that Matthew knows something. Because he's continuing to make the table for Idlewild. So in his mind, he is not thinking that she's going to be dismissed from
yeah.
Like he's like, that's not going to happen. That's not a thing. And he is actually standing up to Marilla a little bit, and he's just like going, now if you're going down this path, I want you to make sure you understand you're keeping me out of this. We agreed.
Whatever happened, you're doing it. Yeah.
You're doing it. It's all on you. So I'm not, and it's also the way that he's looking at Marilla during this conversation, where it's not full on glance usually, but he's side-eyeing her a little bit. It's just kind of like, right there, like, he's just kind of like, all right, there's something going on here, but I'm not, so I don't know if it's that he knows something or if he just is kind of looking at this like, I think there's a big misunderstanding going on here.
Yeah.
And also, we saw Anne put that box in that closet. I'm willing to bet that somehow the brooch got into that box.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's just my thought.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts. My 2 cents.
Excuse me. To your point, John, about Anne being concerned about getting kicked out of the house, I absolutely agree that's in the back of Anne's mind. Marilla has not hinted anything remotely like that throughout this entire thing.
Yeah.
She's never hinted any punishment at all other than you're going to stay in your room, which is the exact opposite of getting kicked out of the house.
Yeah.
But that is where Anne, I think absolutely, that's where Anne's head goes, is, oh my gosh, worst possible outcome, I'm going to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Which is part of the difficulty of this for Marilla, is that she has to navigate that black and white thinking that Anne has and recognize, she should be recognizing that that's where Anne's head is going to go, and that's how she's going to react to the situation. This is about more than just a brooch. In a sense, it's more about it's about more than just lying.
Yeah. Well, there's the security, and I don't mean things and locks and chains on doors. There's the security of a home, and Anne has not known that ever.
Nope.
And this upsets the security of the home.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It upsets it for Anne. It upsets it for Marilla. It upsets it for Matthew. It's like everybody's on pins and needles now.
Yep.
And it's like that's an extremely disruptive experience that, Marilla would much prefer Anne do her needlework, that she do the peas. There's things to be done. And this is just thrown, to your point, Anna's in her room. She's not doing the things to help the farm run. So everything is just not in order as it should be.
Yep.
It's like, oh, that's tough to watch.
What do you think Matthew thinks Marilla should have done? Right, because to your point, Steve, I think Matthew is definitely like, you sure about this? What do you think is the correct response?
See, that's where it gets hard. See, on the one hand, we know that in Anne's world, the picnic is everything right now. And, you know, and then up until this point, while she's kind of recognizing, like, oh, this sucks. I've seen this before. You know, the picnic thing is just like, you know, she's a kid, so that's what's in the front of her lobes. And, you know, when Marilla says, okay, you're not going to go until you confess or whatever, she has the meltdown. Finally has the meltdown. She didn't have it before. With Marilla, obviously, it's not about the brooch itself. Right. It's about this issue of Anne not telling, of what she thinks Anne is not telling the truth. And, you know, she's melting down insofar as that she can, you know, in that way, right? You know, because she's very worried about this. I mean, she searched high and low in that room for it, you know, and she's
They even call out that, you know, every time she goes into Anne's room, she goes into it with a very serious expression on her face. She's composed, you know.
Yeah. So there's kind of two almost overreactions to this. Well, definitely on Anne's part, maybe not so much on Marilla's part, but a very much large concern. And Matthew is kind of looking at this, kind of going, on one hand, we're talking about a picnic. That doesn't mean that much. And on the other hand, are you really sure you didn't lose that thing? Because I think the way that Matthew is looking at this is that because of Anne is the way that Anne is, Anne would have exploded by now. Before that, you know, about being called out on this and you know, that kind of a thing. And he's kind of going, I think you lost it. I think what he was trying to say is, you lost it, Marilla, you lost it. And maybe instead of punishing her, let's see if we can find it first. But of course, you know, this is Anne of Green Gables, so we can't really do that.
Yeah, right. But Matthew certainly can't say that.
Well, it just feels the way Matthew's responding to this is. I could envision him telling Marilla, "Have you tried taking Anne to your room and saying, where did you put it? Show me where you put it. What did you do with it? Let's retrace your steps. Where did you walk in this room? Did you leave the room? Did you go anywhere else in the house for a minute? You're confident you put it here. Are you confident you didn't put it on the windowsill? You know what I mean? Like, I would envision that would be Matthew's 2 cents to that, to get them to work together to find the thing, because now their sense of trust in each other is so far apart that Anne's crying. This is making Marilla upset. You know, she's pitying this poor crying child again, who's, you know, not fessing up to something. You know, it's brought a lot of discord into their life. And I think Matthew, if anything, is the conciliatory type, where he would want them to come together, to work together, to find a reasonable solution to this. And it's like, and he's staying out of it, to his credit, because if you're gonna have people learn a lesson from it, maybe that's, you know, he's finally like, learn it, Marilla, learn it. You know, this is hard for everybody, but you know, as much as Anne can recover from this, you yourself need to learn this. So, I don't know.
So I just had a Brady Bunch episode thought.
Okay.
A football to the nose? Oh.
No. There was an episode where the eldest daughter snuck out at night. Marcia snuck out at night to mail a letter saying how great her dad was. Okay. And he kind of caught her, and she wouldn't tell, and so he punished her. So she was punished, but she wouldn't say anything until, of course, he won the award, and he goes, "Oh, I'm the best father ever," as you know, his daughter sitting up in the room. And he's like, crap, I'm an ass. But you know, so anyway, so the Brady Bunch episode, what I'm thinking is that maybe Anne put in his ear, because he's a woodworker, said, "Can you make this?" Oh, Marilla did this wonderful thing for me. I think this is the timeline. Marilla did this wonderful thing. No. This would have been, well, no, maybe. Marilla said I could go to the picnic. Can you make a little box for her brooch or something along those lines?
Okay.
And so he actually has the brooch.
Oh. Okay.
And he's just like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure?" Kind of to cover his own butt. Anyway, so like I said, Brady Bunch episode.
Yeah.
Brady Bunch.
Possible. Certainly possible.
Yeah, could that have been the Marilla? Did you ask everybody who lives here?
Yeah.
Maybe I have it for some reason. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? Interesting.
Actually, he took it so he could pawn it off so he could get a hooch.
There we go.
He's been secretly getting drunk in the bar.
It's also kind of remarkable that this is an entire episode about a possible lie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, to what I was earlier talking about, other shows of the period. No aliens have attacked.
Right. Yeah.
No one's threatened anyone's lives or anything. This is just, what happened to my brooch?
They're building up to that, Brent.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Well, I mean, it really it's not a lesson of the day kind of thing or lesson of the week kind of thing, but I mean, it kind of, don't lie, tell the truth, see all the sides of it before you make a decision about something. So it does kind of have lesson moment going on here.
Sure, yeah, 100%. All right, that is episode 11 of Anne of Green Gables. So we will see what happens in episode 12.
Dun, dun, dun.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Definitely aliens.
Aliens or the dark gods, one of the two.
I'm not sure how much it came across in the analysis portion, but I really appreciate how we don't know whether Anne lost the brooch or not. That is kept a mystery for us. On the one hand, that's just good drama. It's good storytelling to pique the audience's interest, to wonder one way or the other. But also, we haven't spent that much time with Anne, given the length of the series. So we don't know how irresponsible she is exactly. How likely is it that she would lose something like this, play with it inappropriately, etc.? The fact that she went into the room and mucked about with it is a little bit of a breach of protocol. Not ideal behavior, but, is she the kind of person who would go outside the house with it? And I just think it works really well, especially at this point in the story, to have this. Now, obviously, this was in the novel originally. It's one of the big moments, big story moments in the book. So it's not like they decided in the anime adaptation to do this. But just the way it's handled keeps us guessing about Anne. And I think it's important for us to do at this point, because then the discovery later, however that turns out, has more weight. So good choice.